one of the things we try and do for our clients at Grammatic is going to make sure they get value for money for what we do for them. I'm a real believer in called sweating your assets. So any time we come up with an idea, we try and look at the different channels that can be pushed out into. What are the benefits of kind of adopting those principles when it comes to marketing and PR?
Communication isn't a one-hit wonder, and it's also not something that any business looks at, particularly any business leader or any finance director looks at and says, that's cool, we'll just one-off is okay. You need to make your messaging work for you, and it needs to work hard. There is, particularly in the connected world that's driven by social media that we live in, there is no reason why one piece of communication should just live in one place. Your target audience doesn't. I mean, there is absolutely no way that any business can point at one social media channel or one magazine and say, well, everyone we want to talk to is over there. It doesn't exist. You need to build a strategy around each piece of communication that includes an amplification and a dissemination factor that goes beyond one outlet, but also beyond your normal bubble. You want to be able to cut through to those net new leads. Let's remember that at the end of the day, the whole point of marketing, PR, communication, sales is to drive leads into a business, convert those leads, and continue the business going, employ people, grow, so on and so forth. If you are only using a piece of communication in one place, if you're writing a blog and you just dump that on your website, it's going to hit a few people and that's it. But if you write your blog and you share it in your newsletter, it's going to hit a few more people. Share it on social media, it's going to hit more people. Social media is not just LinkedIn, it's whether or not you like X at the moment, or Blue Sky, or TikTok, or Reddit. There are loads of channels that you can push that message out. You can go into groups and do the same thing. You can turn that blog into a piece of PR if it's thought leading enough. You can turn it into a presentation for people to take to sales meetings or client meetings. Maybe there's a way to get it into an event and pitch a talk. Off that talk, there might be more opportunity for PR and networking. Just one simple idea doesn't end with one simple idea in one simple place. It can go across the entire spectrum of the marketing mix. And if it isn't, you've not planned the messaging. You don't understand your own messaging enough. You just fire and forget. I don't think that I've met a single marketing person or a single salesperson for that matter that is okay with just do one thing. We always wanted to do more, go more, and do more.
I guess the question of surrounding your audience, right, and hitting them with different channels. And I think for smaller businesses, especially, it helps them seem bigger than they actually are because they've got, they're getting a share of all across different channels with slightly different tone and maybe slightly tweaked messaging around the theme. So it's really important to kind of consider those different channels. Do you think, just given the kind of the amount of messaging that people get bombarded with day in, day out, for having the same kind of core messaging that you're using and sweating across different channels is a key component for B2B?
Yeah, 100%. But it's also about the value of that messaging. If you're only putting out, we've launched a new product, we've launched a new product, we've launched a new product, people are going to get bored. Congratulations, you've launched a new product. It's the supplementary stuff around that. It's the value add. People are being hit by more messaging now than they have ever been in their entire lives. On one average day, you'll read more on social media than your parents read in the Times or whatever newspaper they happen to have read 40 years ago. It's bonkers how much content there is out there. The stuff that people pay attention to isn't, we've launched a new product. That's vital and is part of corporate communication, and it has to happen. People need to know. But it's what can people do with that product? It's the time saving around it. It's all of the achievements that went into it. It's all of that. We can save you 5 minutes here, or there is some factor of your working life that we understand that this thing is going to solve. It's the positioning of value. And if you can do that, and if you can do that to your entire audience for the things that they specifically care about, then you're in a really good place. We work with Autodesk quite a lot. And they're a huge company. They make many different pieces of software. Some of those pieces of software are specifically designed for 3D animation and modeling in film and TV. Other pieces of software are designed to build buildings. It's not that you need to have the same message going across your entire channel. It's that you've got to have the right message, the right value, talking to the right part of your audience at the right time.
Yeah. I guess there's also a danger when you're working within a business that you're dealing with your own business messages day in, day out. So there's potential for you to get sick of them yourself. So realizing that they're not necessarily percolating through externally, and like somebody or a potential customer might need to see your messaging multiple times before it even switches from into a consideration mode for what you've actually got to offer. So to me, there's something to be said about keeping buying the same drum, even though you yourself working within the business might think it seems to be a bit repetitive.
I think it's important to have a little bit of double think going on, banging the drum if that's the strategy. If you've done your research, if you know that's the right message, then yeah, absolutely keep pushing it out. But maintain a sense of media awareness so that you are listening to what other people are saying. And if you're finding that your drum beats aren't landing, then maybe there's a slight tweak, maybe there's a slight pivot. But that's a lot of the theme of these chats is having that foundational messaging going on, understanding your foundational messaging. As long as everything links back to that, then that regular absolute drumbeat is completely key. Old marketing wisdom used to talk about needing something like 12 touch points before a person would take action. The same message framed in different ways, 100% part of that, but keep an eye on what's going on. Keep an eye on the discourse and see if your messaging is actually landing. And if it isn't, then either tweak the messaging or tweak where it's going.